It's time to conduct your 45-day food gap audit. Set aside 1 hour this week to smash it out, and it's the best thing you'll do for yourself and your food security moving into 2026. It's a 5-step process, and it really highlighted the gaps where I have got food insecurity, and that's part of my resilience operating system for 2026. So, step 1 is to identify your calories. You can't do a food audit of any kind without knowing what you consume. So we're not thinking about fancy recipes here. We're not worried about things like that right now. We're just going to get stuck into the things that you and your family consume week in, week out. What will you and your kids be happy to eat every week? So, for example, it could be porridge for breakfast. It could be chicken and rice for lunch. And it could be pasta with a simple tomato sauce for dinner. Identifying those core calories sets you up for the next steps. So understand what you eat first. That is step 1. Step 2 is calculating that volume for 24 hours. How many cups of rice is that? How many grams of oats is that? How much oil? How much salt? How many tins of tomatoes? Get a good picture over a 24-hour period. If you had those 3 meals, that could get you through. Step 3 is to multiply that by 45, and that becomes your 45-day baseline. Step 4 is to actually go and do the audit. Don't bloody guess. You have to go into your kitchen or your pantry or your fridge, wherever you're keeping your stuff, and actually get in there and get it out and weigh it. So how many grams or kilos of rice have you got? How many grams of oats have you got? How many tins of tomatoes? How much pasta? How much have you got to get you through that period? And step 5 is the gap. So you subtract what you have by your 45-day baseline. Then that number becomes your mission. So you really need to be food secure for that 45 days. You need to have something in your house that you and your family can consume pretty religiously over a 45-day extended period. That gives you long-term food security. And that number is your mission for the next 45 days. You want to close that gap because your anxiety lives in the gap between what you don't have and what you have now. Every time you buy an extra kilo of rice or an extra bag of salt, that is closing that gap and making that loop of anxiety smaller and smaller. And you're moving from a state of dependency into true fortification. Because let's face it, the system wants you to stay in that loop. They want you to stay dependent. They want you popping down the shops every few days so you have impulse purchases, so you don't build up that food security in your home. Breaking that dependency loop is the first step to becoming truly resilient, because a pantry without a plan is just a collection of snacks. A strategy is what turns those snacks into real food security for you and your family, and that's why